let's start with this new gig and what it means. Have you always been thinking about private equity in terms of angling yourself into the world of investments?
I didn't always know it'd be private equity, but I've been retired almost 2 years. And during that time, that's really what I was doing. I was researching and looking at different fields. And I was always interested in business and just didn't quite know where I wanted to enter and how I wanted to get involved. And I've looked at venture, but I think with private equity and teaming up with BVP, a company that I got to know through an investment in a company called Barbecue Guys. And I just liked how, the core values of the company and how once they acquire a company, they like to grow it through, its marketing execution and also puts an investment back in the employees. And so, it's something that I've, just really connected with and have enjoyed learning, a lot about private equity. I'm still in the learning phase of this thing, but I think I can help through expanding existing relationships, sourcing, vetting, potential acquisitions.
So, Eli, as you know, there's speculation about an even bigger investment for you and perhaps your brother in the papers right now, which is that both of you may want to own a football team in the future. And right now, the speculation is that you may be in the mix to try to buy the Denver Broncos. Can you comment on that?
I have no involvement. I've had no talks about buying a team or the Broncos in any way. I don't know about Peyton. I have not talked to Peyton about that, but I think you do see, obviously, in the private equity world, getting more involved in franchises, and you see it in other sports. It's obviously not that way in the NFL yet, but you see it in basketball, baseball, a lot of leagues where all of a sudden, franchises are selling a little bit and private equity is getting involved in that. So it's an interesting space.
So this would not be a family affair. You must talk to your brother about these things. When you see stuff on Twitter or on in the papers, you don't call your brother and say, "Are we doing this together? Or are you doing this? Or what's happening here?"
I don't always believe everything that I read in the papers or see on Twitter. I think there is, obviously with Peyton, it involves the Broncos, and the Broncos are a company that a lot of people are a franchise that. Looks like it is going to sell soon. So it probably makes sense for Peyton. He played for the Broncos. He lives in Denver. But I live in New York, and I'm a Giants fan. And so that's kind of all my history. And so, again, I don't know how all these things work. I don't know if it's a company, a big group coming in. So I'm sure Peyton has had talks with people, but I just don't know exactly, what the process is right now.
What's your take on how the NFL has dealt this season with COVID and the like? And specifically, really, the decision now, I guess, about 2.5, 3 weeks ago, to shift how they approach testing, which has effectively taken, I think at the time they had something like 230 players that were effectively sidelined. That's come now down to about 80 as a result of the shift in the quarantining and whatnot.
I think the NFL's done a great job of trying to keep everybody safe, keep the players safe, keep the fans, keep everybody on the sidelines and in the organization in the building. And having doing some things with the Giants, I understand. When I go in the building, I'm not allowed to even see the players. I'm not allowed to go in the cafeteria. I'm kind of restricted to parts of the building where you're staying in your little pods. And so I think. They understand they want to keep everybody safe, but they also need to get games played. Fans want to see games. You're coming into the playoff season where you'd hate to miss, have a key player be out, and you don't want guys to get COVID. And obviously everybody's restricted, and the fact that now it's only a 5-day kind of quarantine if you get it with no symptoms. So a lot of the rules and things are changing, but I think it is. To keep people safe and to hopefully get the games played and have your best players out there on the field.